Hey and welcome around to my second video here for Lotus Box. Today with the first deck post-ban, I went with a different deck than I usually thought I will do. I was thinking of doing Reclamation, but right now it's hard to have the perfect rec build since the meta is pretty new or like old again, depending on how you want to see it. So the top decks right now are Reclamation, Bund, Chunt. You see some cycling, you see some mono red. Blue-white is also really good. And I thought, why not try it to tackle those decks with Gruul, with Embercleave, and with some other keycards that I think are really good in this meta right now. So gonna go shortly over the deck and explain the cards. We're gonna have 4 Pelt Collectors here. It's a really good 1-drop that gets strong whenever you play a creature that has greater power. Yeah, it's really good on curve. If you play turn 1, it becomes +1/+1. If you play a 2/2 Stonecoil or a Robber. So I'm gonna explain the entire curve here, and yeah, this is the first creature, 1/1, 1 mana. We play 4 Stonecoil Serpent. They are really good right now against Teferi. They are decent against Mayhem Devil, and they work okayish against the Uro, so you have kind of evasion. They have Trample and Reach, and you can pay X, and they come in with X +1/+1 counters, so you can pay 2, it's 2/2, you can pay 3, it's a 3/3. Since we have the Pelt Collector, we can go turn 1 Collector, turn 2 2/2 Serpent, get +1/+1 on the Collect, have a really good curve, go turn 3 and bring in a big creature. Another creature that curves really well with Pelt Collector is Rob of the Rich. I think this card is really good on the play, especially against Reclamation and Bund. It's decent against other decks as well, but I think since those decks are really strong right now, I would like to have a haste creature that also messes with their library. So yeah, this 4-off, 2 mana, 2/2. When it attacks and you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, you can exile the top card of opponent's library, and you can play whenever you attack with a rogue. We play the 1-off Domri's Ambush here. I didn't like too much removal mainboard since the meta is still a bit wonky. So 1 Domri's Ambush is enough. We play 4 Bonecrusher Giant, just a really stable card. It's good against red, against creature decks. It's a 3 mana for 3 creature. And has an adventure side for 2 mana. You can do 2 damage, it cannot be prevented. 4-off here also works really nice on curve, since you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can also go 1, 2, 3. You have many ways to make this 1-drop a 3/3 really fast, so yeah, Bonecrusher. We play 3 Spellbreaker, not a haste creature. I think haste is really strong right now. 3 mana, 3/3 basic with trample, and in your turn, it has hexproof, and you have hexproof. You can choose in Riot if you want to give it haste or +1/+1. So sometimes it's a 3 mana 4/4, which also again works really well with Pelt Collector. Let's go to the 4 mana slot. We're gonna play 4 Questing Beasts. I think the Questing Beast is again really good. It works well against Bund, against the Planeswalker. It's also really good against Chunt. It goes through all the cats. And yeah, I really like the card. It's a decent blocker for 4 haste. Vigilance, Death Touch is just a lot. Yeah, so 4 Questing Beasts here. It's not the best card in Reclamation, but it's still okay. Then we have Gemrazer. I think Gemrazer is a bit of an all-star right now. Since I just mentioned Rec, Bund, and Chunt. There's Trails, Oven, Citadel, Reclamation, ECD, Elspeth's Conqueror's Death, potential Omens, potential Cages. So Gemrazer can kill Prison, like everything. I think Gemrazer right now is really good. It also works against Mono Red, where you have targets like, let's say, Annex or Frenzy. It's just so strong. It's a 4 mana 4/4 with 3 trample, already really good. And you also can mutate for 3 mana. And when you mutate, this creature destroys, as I just mentioned, artifact or enchantment. You can mute it on a Stonecoil Serpent. Let's say it's a 3/3 with 3 tokens, counters on it. We mutate over it. It's a 7/7. Because it keeps the base of the 4/4 with the counters on it, right? So it's a 7/7. The same goes for Pelt Collector, and the same goes for Spellbreaker. Those all have counters where this card works really well. We have a 1-off Vivien Arkbow Ranger. I think this is a really good card. You can make 1 creature deal damage to a creature or planeswalker. So another way to deal with planeswalker, a way to deal with creatures. Really nice with the Questing Beast since it has Death Touch. The +1 is really good. You can give Trample and counters the creature. And Trample is really, really strong right now since there is the cat stack as well. And yeah, the -5 is something I rather use. You can take a creature from outside of the game, so you sideboard. Yeah, +1 and -3 is the way to go. And here a card many maybe will be surprised. Lukka. This deck, I tested a lot of different Gruul versions, and then I found a list on Red Bull on a tournament. Untapped, I think. Red Bull tournament is the name. And yeah, it's Lukka. It has Lukka. And many people don't even know the +1, or maybe somehow, but I'm gonna talk about it shortly. Yeah, the +1, you can exile the top 3 cards of your library. You get the creatures, you can exile them, and you can play those creatures as long as you have Lukka in the game, which is basically pseudo card draw if Lukka stays alive. -2 is the one most people know from the Lukka Ancient deck. You exile a creature and you bring in a creature from your library that goes through your library until it hits 1 with a bigger mana cost. And the -7, which is also really good in this deck. Each creature you control deals damage equal to their power to an opponent. So let's say we have 3 creatures, total 10, you -7, 10 damage to opponent's face. Really good. Yeah, the -2 can work on Gemrazer, Questing Beast to get the 1-of Yidoro we have here. Or you can just do it on other cards. But yeah, we have a 1-of Yidoro for that reason. People maybe tried Yidoro and Lukka, like some substitute, but I don't think it's the correct way. I think the Yidoro Lukka combination here is a bit niche. I like it. I can clearly see if you want to try maybe one more Vivien, maybe one more Spellbreaker, or like a bit more aggressive, but I kind of like this combination here and I want to go with it. Yeah, as I said, it's Yidoro here. 7 mana, Trample Haste, 8/8, cycling 2. Goes back in the deck, and when you cycle 4 times, you can cast it, but that's not why it's here. It's mainly for Lukka, and yeah, as long as you can still cycle it, it's never dead. So it's okay as a one-off. Then we have Vivien, Monsters Advocate. I really like this card. I think it's underrated. I wish there's more play. It has a little bit. It has not that much loyalty. 3 loyalty is not a lot, but you pay it for 5. It comes in. It can protect itself with a creature immediately and goes on 4. Yeah, the +1 makes tokens. Just mentioned 3/3. You can choose Trample, Haste, or Vigilance. And the -2, whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature, card with less converted mana cost, put it on the battlefield. Let's say -2, play Questing Beast, and you can choose one of those creatures that come on the battlefield. It's nice because sometimes we have haste creatures here as well, right? So we get even more benefits from it. The passive is a creature frenzy, I would say. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So you play Vivien, you plus next turn you see a Gruul Spellbreaker on top, you play it from your library, card advantage. So this is a card advantage card, this is a card advantage card. Planeswalker that give card advantage in Gruul, I think are really good. Some games it is crucial. As I said, you can still change some cards. There's also like the Great Henge that gives card advantages in creature deck. Could also be in this deck, but I just like this combination right now and I want to try it out, and it worked really well. And Embercleave. Embercleave All-Star, I think this card got way stronger post-ban. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot I have to say. You can flash it in. The creature that gets equipped gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample, and it costs 1 less for each creature attacking. This is the mana base, simple mana base. Yeah, you just see it, there's nothing I have to say. Sideboard, we have Lava Coil, Dragonfires, 4 removals here. There's an entire sideboard guide about the deck, I'll just go shortly over it. Cindervines, usually against like Reclamation. Flame Sweep against decks that go white, Knight, Mono, Red, those kind of decks. Klothys against all the graveyard decks, can work against Ura as well. Shifting Ceratops against blue-white control, bond control, Rec. So this is the short version here. Check out the sideboard guide to get a more in-depth look on the sideboard. So I choose this deck. I hope you're gonna like it. I had a lot of fun with the games. I think we went 5-0, 6-0. I'm not too sure. Yeah, check out the games and see you next time. Yeah, Stamp Stream. Didn't have a lot of time yet to play since I was sick. It's not that fun. I mean, it's okay. It's not good, but it's okay. Junt again, okay. When I tested the game, the deck. Believe me, it's a lot of chant. This is on curve, so we keep it. Priest early on. That's not what we want to be. So against Priest early on, we need to play all our creatures ASAP. We want to go white, but the problem is they could have claim. So this is the worst. If they want to play, this is like literally the worst now. So we are forced to find a removal for this, otherwise it's going to be really bad. The moment they have claim here, we're just going to lose. But we have to try it. So let's dodge the claim, right? Let's dodge the claim. If they have claim, they have probably the best opener against our deck. Okay, that's 1 damage, so we're gonna lose the robber, I guess. Since they can sack the food there. So far, I think they have the nuts. The only card they need is Oven Cat and claim. Well, never mind. They have this ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous right now. Wow, that's okay. Even if I play Vivien, that just double. Wow. Yeah, I think. Okay. That's the nuts. This has to be the nuts. I think I saw many good starts, but this makes Chunt again one of the best decks. Just seeing this, just seeing this, it's just ridiculous. And I think we don't have an out here. Wow, this is Chunt is definitely strong. I played this a lot against Chunt and it was always okayish, but that one was heavy. That one's heavy. That one was really heavy. I mean, we can keep Robber here on the play, as usual. But it's still the weakest one. I think on the play we can also go down on a Lava Coil. Keep the Robber in and just keep the Dragonfires. It should be way better than this here. This is just, I think, what we just saw right now was the biggest nuts possible. I'm not even sure if the cat oven nuts is better than a turn 3 or 4 Mayhem Devil. It's kind of slow, but okay. I mean, it's kind of, it depends here. We have a good start, but then after that we can just have no gas anymore. But we can also just draw no lands and have something to play. Which looks like it is right now. We still go for this just to play on curve. Maybe get a Gemrazer or something if they drop an oven, and that would be amazing. Questing Beast usually is really good against cat oven decks. But yeah, it's really interesting. Like, you change companions. What happens is you go back to the old meta. So far, it just looks like that. Like the really old pre-Ikoria meta. Priest. A land's not good. So if they have a claim here, it's gonna be hard. Because priest and claim is our enemy. Our natural enemy in opponent's deck. Goose. Oven, okay. So we dodge the claim here. Which I'm happy about. You have to keep attack. We still have a Robber, which is also a haste creature. Opponent is already on 3. So if they priest, we're just gonna sacrifice our Serpent or Collector, depending on what they claim. Still have the beast active. which makes them need to have. Well, that's interesting. How do they get out of this? What do they need to find here? Cat? Cat is not... Yeah, cat works. Need to find cat. No. With cat, I can survive one more turn. Okay. Well, that's not helping. They still need to find cat. Serpent or Collector? They get 2 black, so they cannot play... Ah, maybe Serpent. It has trample for cat. Okay, but they were searching a cat here. So they was pretty fast. We want the flames. Now we want to have the removals and cut all the robbers. Also cut the potential. Okay, let's go. Yeah, the priest is so dangerous. Like, if they had the claim there, I think we would just have lost. Claim make... The thing is, Gruul is a really good deck. But claim as a card just makes creature decks way weaker. But haste is still really good. And Questing Beast has evasion, trample is pseudo evasion. Like, with decks like, or cards like this, you can still play against Goose. Cat Oven decks, I mean. So yeah. Torame. Let's go. Now they're on the play though, which makes it definitely different. This is too weak. This is shit. If this would be red, it's playable. And another green. If this would have been a red land here, we have removal. Because Flame Sweep with nothing playables before is still okay. So let's hope we find the red source. Priest, yeah. Please, red. Still go for the stomp here. That was a top deck. 3 mana. Trail, sure. Cat, okay. I think we just go for the Bonecrusher. They will probably try to attack with cat and make us block, but we will not block, obviously. Definitely not block here. If they don't attack, okay, sure. That's an interesting situation. We should get rid of 1 there. It's kind of awkward to do it, but double trails is too much to deal with. So having Gruul Spellbreaker would be better. So if we attack, they can bring it back. Yeah, I still think we have to attack here. I mean, sure, they're gonna block to get the extra draw. But they would have got 2 extra draws, which is too much. And they have no oven yet, which is good. We definitely go for Spellbreaker and then hopefully have not Gemrazer. Gemrazer here is pretty good. Gemrazer helps. We also don't want to see Corval's Goose. Okay, they have an extra food. Trails is dangerous. We need to deal with that Trails. If they have Oven or something, okay, we have to deal with those Trails. This is ridiculous. Okay. It's kind of funny now. But we're gonna go trail. Trail. Okay, so 3 trails in the top is definitely not easy to deal with. But we found a way. So we dealt with Priest and we dealt with triple trails. Cold is still the card we don't want to see. Goose, okay, that's fine. So they are basically they need to use their castle efficiently here. And this card is pretty good. Pretty good. So we can do this. Haste and keep this open. I mean, sure, gonna keep blocking here. Okay, wants to prevent damage, so Flame Sweep. We could have Flame Sweeped earlier, but then we would have lose Gruul Spellbreaker. Okay, 7. Priest, okay. If I see, okay. So this is a Flame Sweep right now. Flame Sweep. Losing Priest double Goose is pretty heavy. They still have food though to stay alive. But the Priest has to go. It's not helping. Add multiple cards here to win the game on the spot. Multiple cards here to win the game on the spot. But they go on 1, but they have a lot of food now to regenerate. They go on 2, sure, they have the cat. Yeah, let's just drop the land, doesn't matter. We got a lot of lands again here. So free food left. They found a land, that's not helping. They can just eat. 5, now it's game. Okay, yeah, it was a crazy game though. It was a crazy game. I think top decking the red land there was pretty good. It's pretty good. Triple Trails is really dangerous. It's really dangerous, not gonna lie. Okay, so let's go to the next game. Okay, so this Chunt matchup was pretty intense. So I really have to say I tested this deck a lot and there were so many Chunt games. And usually the game is decided on them having claim or not. Especially game 1. Foxy Fox. Okay, Foxy Fox. This is too slow. This is actually too slow. I pressed Mulligan, right? Why is my clock here? Is this a bug? Network error. Reconnect. Okay. That was really interesting. That was really interesting. I hope it doesn't bug now. There used to be a sideboard bug once where when this happens to you, you have a sideboard bug. Okay. Hope the mulligan worked here. Okay, mulligan. So we have to go on 5. Okay. I mean, the robber at least does work since we don't have cards in hand. This looks like a mono red calicate. Let's see what our robber can do. A land. It's a bit annoying. Best case would be getting a 1-drop. It looks like the calicate deck so far. Okay, that's all fine. Grim, sure. This is interesting. Chance of finding a 1-drop is really high here. 2-drop. Okay. Didn't find a 1-drop. Tybalt, sure. They cannot attack maybe now. It's a bit risky. But we can attack. Do we actually wanna... No, we don't. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna keep the rubber back since we have one card so far we can play. Cavalcade, sure, but you will not attack here. Double Cavalcade though, but you still will not attack. You cannot finish us off. So at this point, what? Going in. Let's see what we find. Cute. Decent, yeah. Okay. So there has to be blocks now. Opponent went on 2. We go for a light up the stage because we can find Bonecrusher. Didn't find that one, and this is the most efficient because we get 2 creatures. And they cannot block our questing beast here. It's interesting, the Cavalcade deck actually saw play in a recent Red Bull tournament as well. It's also a reason why we need flame sweeps. That's interesting. So here we definitely need to make sure we do not have too much of a curve, too much of a high curve. Those are all really good. Even the robber is not bad. Robber is a bit weaker, but the thing with the robber is you can still block 1/1s. So that's good. Vivien may be on the draw. It's a bit too slow. I want to keep this Vivien though. We need to cut 2 more. So now definitely keep this. I think it's the robbers. Pelt Collector can go higher than 1 as well. And they don't have too much removal. They have the casual shocks and like the shocks definitely, because they want to go really fast. Gemrazer are really good to deal with Cavalcade. And they don't have a real play against the questing beasts. Maybe too slow, but I want to keep it. Because of questing beast and Gemrazer. Okay. If they attack with the Scorching, we may block here. We don't have a way to buff this yet. So we're just gonna make sure. Okay, so we can tap this in and have an exile for the Grim. Chandra. Chandra is annoying, but questing beast is pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna wait though, because they could play another champion where I maybe use a Dragonfire on champion. Could have Embercleave though, but I don't think they play it. Should have used it, but I'll wait here. Maybe they play an Annex. There was no Annex. Okay. This card does the most damage though. This is annoying, but this does the most damage. Yep. So Questing Beast deals with Chandra and is a good blocker. We have too many lands though. I mean, we kept a pretty slow hand, but we're still on 10, so we just don't want to see Cavalcade. Even though we can use Gemrazer on the Questing Beast to deal with Cavalcade. Okay. I mean, sure. Sure. Chandra is surviving though. Playing a Stonecoil. Have 2 blockers now. Still have Gemrazer for Cavalcade. If they have Cavalcade, we take 5 damage on attack. Then we need to block 2 and then they cannot use the castle because they play Cavalcade. So we don't die to that. Ooh, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I don't think they attack here though. I mean, they attack with the plus there. Okay. Okay, no, they should attack. I don't know why they give up though. I mean, I have 2 lands on hand. Sure, we 1 game ahead, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go for another one. So 1 more win and we are Diamond 2. them too. Usually I would be already mythic, but yeah. Didn't have this much time. I was sick, and the bans and all that. It was a crazy week. It was a crazy Magic week. Definitely a crazy Magic week, and it feels new, but it also feels not new at the same time. It's kind of awkward. You have like a new set, but you in your mind you know what are the strongest decks for sure. So I want to present a deck that no one already knows, because I think everyone here on Lotus Box probably knows like Reclamation, Bunt, and those decks. So I want to give an alternative deck for now, and next week when the meta more settles, I want to show like Reclamation or Bunt myself, like how I deal with it. I used to be top 10. I was like number 2 with Reclamation in April or March. So definitely have some insight there. We're gonna keep this land to have access on the Questing Beast. The Domri seems a bit awkward, but yeah. Robber would be way stronger on the play, obviously. Double Robber's still okay though, but they have maybe have Teferi here. So if they have a Teferi, I'm just gonna drop down a Stomping Ground. This looks like Bunt right now. Okay, maybe we get a double Robber in. Could be the one of Gust they play. That's an interesting one. I'll decline it. It's a bit too slow at this point. So we definitely like Questing Beast plus Ambush. We have one of Yido on our hand, which is kind of awkward as well. I mean, we can use it as a discard, or like in the same turn with this. Teferi, surprise. So they're gonna bounce our Robber, and our Questing Beast gets a really good turn. Opponent is missing lands, and we found another Robber. You guys know when you discard a card? When you discard a card and you just draw the exact same card you discarded? That's kind of just what happened here. Kind of funny. So, they didn't hit another land here. It looks like they missed another land. Grow Spell, find the land. If you see a main, find the land, tap in though. Okay, Shock. Okay, Shock indicates another Eater Gust. They could have Shatter, but I still go a ham here. I want to go full damage, and if they use Gust on my Questing Beast, or Bounce, possible as well. So my Robber cannot steal here, but it's still 4 damage, goes on 6, which is good. If they play Nissa, I can use Questing Beast plus Domri's Ambush. And they don't have a breeding pool. So they don't have a Gust out of it, which is good. Crazes for 2. I mean, we wouldn't... Yeah, we would have won here because we have Domri's Ambush, but okay. So, this is... Well, sometimes you can win like this as well. So this best of 1 here. Let's just go to the next game. Okay. Yeah, this was stupid. I don't know why they give up. I mean, Bunt is still a strong deck, and they are now on the play. I mean, they were unlucky not finding the land and using Growth Spiral main there, but still, I don't know. I mean, we have a good sideboard plan, but we need to mulligan. We're gonna keep this, and we're gonna go down on a Questing Beast. This time I'm gonna not play the coil here. I don't know what they play yet. And I don't have a Gemrazer to abuse it, so... Black. Foolish Fiend. Oof. Foolish Fiend is annoying. Foolish Fiend is annoying. Okay. They can block here. Remove the land. They can block and kill the Robber here, but it's still okay trade. Foolish Fiend. This could be a Rakdos deck. Oh, that's interesting. Rakdos is gonna be hard, I think. But I'm looking forward to this now. We have Questing Beast, which is a decent one. Get a Serpent for 3 now. So we don't want to see Priest and Claim again. Like, Priest and Claim is a no-no. Scorpion, yeah, it's a Rakdos list. It's cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate to see this. Okay. So we have Questing Beast here. If we have another red source like this, we had access to Embercleave. Sadly, we don't. Wow, Libation main? That's interesting. We definitely go for the beast here. They just use the Libation. If they have 2 Libation on hand, I'll be really shocked. Like, super shocked. You would never... I mean, Libation main? I mean, I guess Reclamation, right? And Trawler, but against a Troll deck they have tokens, so it's... I don't know. I don't know what I think about it. This we're gonna use against Priest. Only against Priest. Well, that changes some things, but... Still don't think it's viable to play this. I still want to have a red source, though. Mayhem Devil. Okay. I mean, you have 2. Let's get rid of something. We could also went face there. I guess face would have been better. Yeah, definitely better. Stonecoil is pretty good. They could still have claim though. But they need a sacrifice outlet. Okay, they have priest. That's good. Even if they have claim here. Okay, that's perfect because now we can use our Bonecrusher again. I think they had claim, to be honest. They were thinking of it, but they couldn't steal the Serpent here and use the Priest. I think this card is a claim. I would give this an 80% chance. So they're looking for an oven or some shit right now. Oven plus cat here. Like steal my Serpent. Then press oven. So this is the claim we know they have. Because you just clearly could see how they do it. So they're looking for an oven here. Like, that's what they do, right? They go on 1. They didn't find the oven. So we don't care about this, obviously. Yeah, so we're gonna attack with the Questing Beast here. And then we're just gonna Embercleave over it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes this is really important. If you play games like this, and you see them like their thought process, because if you will play the deck, you would make the same thoughts, right? So I think it's important to know certain decks, like certain sequences. Like they want the priest and they want to have it active, right? And they hovered over my Serpent there, which just gives away that they wanna do something there, but they can't because it's not efficient. So yeah, it's interesting. And now we just go as usually, go down on the low creature here on the draw, bring in the Klothys, bring in removal that exiles. Also interesting is in my other list I just shortly talked about, there's Klothys main, and if there's really a lot of Chant and Rakdos, you could easily main them, but then you should play the goblins instead of the robbers. But I just love the robbers against the control decks, because it could just mess up their draw so well. That's a keep. That's okay hand on the draw. You have access to Vivien, you have flame sweeps. Yeah, we will not play our Serpent. I'll just wait for a good flame sweep. Flame sweep into Vivien is the goal. Priest, sure. We're gonna keep the Lava Coil here. So if you use lava, I think honestly, it's like this. They need 2 1-drops here to activate the priest, and even then it's okay. Oven, okay, no 1-drop. 1-1-drop, okay. Okay, cat oven here, clearly the worst case scenario. Clearly the worst case scenario. But I mean, we still have a way to deal with the priest. I want to keep my Lava Coil for the Mayhem Devil though. So maybe they are greedy and they're gonna use it here. So we can Flame Sweep over it. They're not greedy though. That's a problem though. Okay, so if I Flame Sweep here, I get rid of the priest. Then there's another priest. If I don't Flame Sweep here, they react with their priest, sacrifice the other 2 cards, sacrifice the priest, and get an extra draw. So let's say they get an extra draw. Well, let's just let it go. Maybe they attack with the priest. Okay. We do it end step here, because if we do it end step, they cannot use the mana efficiently here. Okay. I mean, they get the draw, but we knew this will happen, right? So what we're gonna do is we play a Questing Beast or a Serpent now. The Vivien is really good though. The Stonecoil Serpent just gets in range of the claim, which I do not like too much. So I think I go for a Questing Beast and then having a Vivien or a Coil plus Serpent open. Yep. I think we're gonna do it like that. Okay. Five mana. I wonder if they play something like Bola Citadel. They check the graveyard. Interesting. They could play the Death Dweller here. The 3 mana, get the cards back. So they could sacrifice the cat here and then get the priest plus cat. That's greedy though. Then I can use my Lava Coil efficiently, remove the cat forever. Pretty good. So, okay, they're gonna do it on a Scorpion. They play the Call the Death Dweller here, probably. Kind of greedy though, not gonna lie. That's a greedy one. What a surprise. That's a greedy one. The sad part here is that if we had a second red, it would be way better. I could surely clear this, but I honestly still think it's better to get rid of this here. It's kind of sad though, but what should we do? I gotta do it for free. The thing with free is if they claim it when I attack, we can still block with the Questing Beast. Interesting. Lampert. Death Touch, no thanks. I think developing a Klothys here is really good. This is so interesting. Do they have another Death Dweller here? Call of the Death Dweller? It looks like, right? It's so interesting. Okay. I mean, it's really interesting. I think we just... It's out tapped, so we can do it like this. I wish to develop Klothys here. Yeah, nice. I mean, you just have a double Death Dweller here. Could not play around 2 Death Trailer though. I mean, they get a damage in. But we have to develop Klothys here. It's just super annoying. We go a bit wide. That's okay to have 2-2 here. Questing Beast, I think right now is just an amazing card. This was the main reason. I thought Questing Beast Embercliff is great, so... And I just love this card. When I used to live in Japan, I used to play a lot of Questing Beast in my Haruria tournaments. And I won a lot with this card in my... back in the days, in my Golgari adventure. And Celestian adventure. Good times. Oof, we still don't... Oh, that's interesting though. We can actually go for the Embercleave, but I think we don't need yet. Just buff our beast. It's not... It doesn't even... Oh wait, we can give this trample though. So this way this has trample and it's worth attacking. Otherwise, it's not worth attacking with it. Because they just block with the cat, right? And the Death Touch doesn't work on this one. Yeah, Vivien is great. Vivien with Triple Forest is really great with Klothys. It's interesting. I didn't pull off today the Lukka thing. I didn't have a single Lukka in the game yet, but yeah, it's a really cool card. It's still a good card. It's just not the same. You can plus in this deck really good. They're gonna sacrifice it. They just ping me a bit here. You have to go face. Our Klothys still gets 2 life each turn. Which is, it's really important to develop the Klothys there early. So they go on 5. We have Embercleave next turn if you want to. Embercleave on Questing Beast just nails it, and that's it, game. Yeah. Okay, at least we had 2 games this time. Okay, let's do one more. Play first. This is a clear keep here. This is a curve. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we call a curve. On the play, this is a clear keep here. I'm still a fan of the coil. I really... Oh my god, I almost misclicked. I'm a huge fan of the Stonecoil. It just protects you from the Mayhem Devil and Teferi. Lovely card there. Could be Gruul. Usually don't play this land in Rec, but I could be wrong. I just think we're gonna curve. All we're gonna do is play turn 3, play turn 4. A robber, okay. If they attack, we don't care. I mean, they don't get the card anyways. That's a question now. I don't think we care of robber. I think we're just gonna go in here. At a point soon, you cannot attack with this robber anymore. Yeah, and if you go Questing Beast here, it's so much pressure. This is like if you play any mirror, right, and one person is on the play and one is on the draw. It's always tricky. Like now, we're definitely gonna remove our robbers here. We don't have too many cards for the mirror, to be honest. I think should look like this. It's not sure exactly what deck they play, but usually when you see the temple, the Gruul temple there, it's most likely not Reclamation, because they never will play that card. It's usually green, like the Gruul lands are the worst card in Reclamation, so it always is rather Gruul or maybe another aggressive deck. We have triple removal, we have a creature, and we have the Yidara we can just cycle. Just looks good to me, right? I mean, we tried to establish this early on. Pelt Collector, sure. Tap this in here. Got a land, it's real important. Okay, mountain, sure. Didn't play anything else, and we just pass. We still have the option to a Yidara here. Okay. It's kind of awkward, they have like nothing. We will Bone Crush though. Because we want to play a 4/3 creature in case they play a Questing Beast. Something like that. Because they didn't play anything, so we would like to develop a creature that can block. And if they want to remove this, they take damage. Okay. So they kept Bonecrusher up. I think it's a mistake here. I think you want to be aggressive, but then we had a really good hand to deal with it. Okay, now we can deal with the card, right? Take the damage, sure, it's fine. You're gonna attack and have Dragonfire and Nether open. They could still play Questing Beast here. So there's the Questing Beast. Now we are on the back foot, which is a bit hard. If they have like an Embercleave, it's tricky. So Lava Coil would be a really good card. Domri's Ambush would be a really good card. Vivien would be a really good card. Didn't find any of those. So I want to keep the Gruul Spellbreaker with a counter. Now we need to think. So they put land and they have a Questing Beast. We lose. Like, there's no way. We block with one though. If they have a creature, we still answer, but we have to go in with the Giant here. So we need to dodge land to have a chance. Because Embercleave plus Death Touch is really good. I mean, we clearly block here. We do not want to see Questing Beast. The thing is here, they could have a second Questing Beast, right? But they would develop another creature first, because the Questing Beasts have haste. That's interesting. Okay, sure. That's a good card. I was thinking about this card as well. This is potential. This card is potential. I just think I like it this way a bit more, but just as I said, it has potential. I want to develop a 6/6 here since we have an haste here. So if they have a creature here, Questing Beast, okay. We will not block. Then we have lethal. Okay, we have double lethal now. Because if we don't block, we get the trample, right? So they could have blocked here, right? We still get 2 through, and 3 plus 4, 7, 9, dead, right? If we block here, we miss the 2 damage. We attack with a 4/3 and a 3/3. Of course, we would have top decked another haste creature, but yeah, I mean, this doesn't matter, right? So yeah, we close to Mythic. I will be Mythic today, I guess, but I think I did a lot of games now. So you get like a view of this deck. We won, I think, every game today. A lot of variety. I was hoping to face a Rec as well, because sideboard is also tagged for Rec. Yeah, I enjoy the deck.